Hey friends, did you know you can grow potatoes in grow bags or containers? Super easy, really low maintenance, and I promise you, you will have the best tasting taters after the season. We are looking here at a rather unusual angle to my garden. That is a corner you don't always see that often in my videos or in my footage. We're here at the end of our drive where you can see my garden. In the back over here, we're a little bit elevated. This is the end of a driveway. It's a paved driveway which has full sun location, and that kind of corner we never use because it's kind of like wonky and it's hard to navigate cars in and out, so I turned it into a grow bag garden. And those two rows which you see over there are the grow bags which I always use for potatoes. So I'm doing that now the fourth season in a row, and yeah, the results were always stellar in terms of yields with the potatoes. No big issues with them. The large grow bags in the back, I usually plant some squashes in there to let them just rank down the slope, but it is a really great way. If you think you don't have a garden or you don't have a space to put in a garden, grow bags are a really great alternative to use and to utilize for those like kind of wonky spaces which have great sun but are not equipped for garden beds. In this video I'm going to show you my process, how to get the grow bags ready, what potatoes I'm using, what varieties I'm growing and why, and yeah, I'll just follow along here. Let's talk about the potatoes you can use for growing in your garden. Of course, there are seed potatoes from growers which you can use. Those are your best shots for the best yields, but you can also use any kind of organic potato you get at a grocery store. It's important though to pick the organic ones because the non-organic ones are typically treated within non-sprouting agents, so they won't sprout and therefore can't grow plants properly. So don't set yourself up for failure using those. Organic is the way to go in this regard. And this year I'm growing 5 varieties. So the first 2 varieties are from our favorite seed company, which is Row 7 Seed. They had 2 options this year in available, which I'm really curious to try, and because they are growing everything for really great taste, so I'm super excited. And I know that's a common theme in my videos, but yes, I am excited. So the first one is the Upstate Abundance potato. It's a small one, supposed to be great for roasting. Can't wait. That is one of the favorite ways we eat here potatoes. They are running a little bit on the smaller side, but the size is great for roasting, obviously. So I'm excited to see those. The other ones are the Dakota Dawn potato, which is supposed to be an interesting colored looking one. And yeah, again, super great for taste as well. So those 2 are new to me and I'm really excited to grow. And then where I typically get my seed potatoes as well is from Pine Tree Garden Seeds. They have a really great selection. Make sure you get yours early. As with a lot of things you grow in the garden, the time when you plant them out is usually the good time to look for next year already if you want to have some special varieties which sell out fast. So this year I'm really excited to go with the Adirondack Blue. Look how pretty those ones are on the inside. Supposedly they hold their color through cooking if you want to make some blue mashed or purple mashed potatoes afterwards, so I'm really excited to play around with them when they're done. This one is also a new to me variety. I hope they aren't just pretty but also delicious. I had some not so great success with purple veg 2 years ago, where I grew all the purple veg and was very disappointed by the taste component. So we'll see about that. And the 2 repeats, which are my trusties, which always grow well for me, that's the Yukon Gold and the Superior potato. So both of them stored also very well. I think I got per potato, per seed potato, almost like, what was it, like 2 to 3 pounds out of a grow bag. So that was really amazing. So yeah, what is important when you prepare your potatoes for planting is you want to have them sprouted well, which is called shitting with potatoes. So this is the moment when you leave them grow and let them sprout out. So you have here all those little sprouts coming, and that is something what really works well then to prepare. You also might have noticed that I cut my potatoes. So whenever you have potatoes which have more than 2 sprouts, I typically cut them apart, because every sprout creates a plant, and you don't need that many plants in a grow bag. So typically I cut them apart and plant them over there. It's also important to let the cut dry out so that it's not wet when you plant it, because then you just increase the risk for them to mold and rot away in the grow bag. So I cut those ones last night and let them just dry over, and they're dry to touch here to plant them out today. If they are teeny tiny and just have like 2 major sprouts, I just leave them as they are, but otherwise they get cut into pieces. That also then makes just more possible potato plants per seed potato, so you can do that well. So let's talk a little bit about the grow bags. I have here 2 rows, 10 grow bags each, and my typical grow bag here is a 10-gallon grow bag. In those 10 gallons, you can see here I've grown multiple times. You can see there, they don't look the freshest, but it is, they still work. The advantages with grow bags is they have really, really amazing drainage. And with that drainage, the potatoes are typically happy, because what they don't like is sitting in soggy soil. As you can imagine, they would rot away, as potatoes are nothing else but tubers, right? So they really like well-drained soil. So the grow bags are a great way for doing that. In terms of irrigation, I have here 1 main line going in between those 2 rows of grow bags, and have here those flexible 360 emitters, 1 per bag, and that has worked very, very well for me. Otherwise, if you don't have an irrigation system, just make sure you water them well, because that is the only downside with using grow bags, I would argue. Due to that great drainage, they also dry out a little bit faster. So if it's hot and dry in your summer, you got to keep an eye on those ones. What you also might notice is I have here the front row is empty, while the back row still has soil in it. So I'm running an experiment this year. Typically what I do is I replace the soil after a season, because it's done, typically it was used almost twice. After the potatoes are done, I typically tip them over in an gorilla cart to harvest, and then put back most of the soil, just amended with some fresh compost, back in the grow bags to grow then carrots after. And let me tell you, I did that for the first time last year, and I grew the most terrific carrots in those fluffy soil bags, because they had just such an easy way to grow tall. And I think I harvested my carrots in time for Thanksgiving, which was awesome. So, but the soil was stretched. I'm not sure if I'm setting myself up for trouble with trying to reuse this soil, but I also want to be mindful, number one, of my time and my work effort, but also of resources, right? Why replacing soil if you don't need to necessarily? So I'll run an experiment. Half of them will be just used with fresh soil, which I have a pile over there, my trusty raised bed garden mix from coast of Maine. If I'm not mixing it myself, that is my brand I prefer to use over here and have easy access to. And for the back row, I'm going to mix the soil half and half, which means I'll take that one out, dump it in the gorilla cart, put a bag of compost in, and we'll fill it with like an refreshed mix and a little bit of just a balanced fertilizer for that as well. So we'll see how they do. I plan to have 4 bags per variety. So we have 2 bags with the amended soil mix, 2 with the fresh soil mix. So we have hopefully yeah, some good results after, which we can compare if we see any noticeable difference in that. Okay, what I just did was dumping the full bucket into the Gorilla cart and just sifting it for problems, aka grubs. And I found a bunch of them in here, so I'm a little bit unsure if I should use it or not. Although I feel like I have sifted through that one well now. But I still find some. Yeah, and in the grub stage, I don't think you can easily tell what they are. So I hope they're not like potato beetles or something. I had a few ones last year, but I don't want to multiply my problem this year. So, but I'm also going to treat my garden and also the grow back garden in a few weeks with beneficial nematodes, which gets hold of those grubs too. So I think we should be fine. I'll just proceed with my plan, and any kind of grubs I find I usually take out with my gloves. I'm not so shy as long as I wear gloves. Without gloves, I'm not sure I would touch them, but with gloves, I don't care so much. And I have a lot of birds around here, so they will definitely love the protein snack. What I'm going to do now is to amend it with a little bit of garden tone and put a bag of compost in, and then this is what we're going to reuse in the second row of grow bags. So the grow bags I'm using here are just very regular grow bags, which you can go and get from Amazon. I have the ones I liked linked here below in this description, but really just look for like 10-gallon size grow bags, which are rather tall, not wide, and you will be perfect to go. Great, so the second row of grow bags over there is done and finished with recycled soil, and I'm really hopeful that they will just do as fine as the first row, but we will see. That's the fun with gardening, good experiments, and seeing how they turn out is really what excites me about gardening in general. Great, so and now let's get started with the second row, where we use the raised bed garden mix from Coast of Maine. So any type of raised bed garden mix or potting soil, as of that matter, should be totally fine in the grow bags. Whatever you have handy with good drainage and just some good nutrients for it to work. All right, let's get going here. So now you can see I have all of the ones planted out here. Unfortunately, it starts raining, so we gotta wrap that up here soon. One thing which you might know or have heard about when you research potatoes is that some sources recommend to mount them up as they grow. So basically, you put a little soil on it and then you wait until they grow, put a little bit more on it. Based on my experience with the grow bags, that doesn't make a difference. I tried that in the first year the yields, or the difference in yields, was completely negligible for the varieties I grew. So be your best judge, try it out if you want and see if you see a difference. For me, it doesn't make a difference, and as you know, I'm lazy. So for that reason, I'm not doing it. They get tip-topped to the very top as everything else here, and for that reason, it's so easy moving forward. You gotta be quick, the weather is turning on me, even though the sky doesn't look like it's turning, but I can hear it. Something is coming in, and it most likely is rain and thunderstorms or something. So I hope you liked that video. It was a little bit more a practical one. Let me know if you've grown potatoes in grow bags and how you like it. I think it's the perfect method, and you will see later in the season when it comes to harvest why it truly is. You don't lose a potato in the ground because you just dump the soil back in the Gorilla Cart and off you go. So yeah, let me know what you think, and if you like videos like that, we can do more of it. And yeah, subscribe and watch another video. Thank you.